We are here for a new week in the car. We have some things to discuss. So this isn't necessarily like questions and answers with us. Well, it's not. It's just some things that I wanted to talk about. One of the things was I heard a conversation. Somebody was saying that he had traveled recently, and he said that the bathroom door situation at hotels is driving him crazy.
Okay.
Because he said that you either get those barn doors that slide. Yes, well, yes. Someone else said they hate those too. Absolutely hate them. And they're very popular these days because they don't take up space, and I think they're easy to install.
Right.
And either you like them or you don't like them. I really don't have an opinion on them.
I don't really care for them. I don't think they look good.
I think it depends on the house.
It depends on the situation. But in a hotel room,
in the hotel room, yes. But he also said you either get those barn doors. He said, or you'll get a curtain. He said you'll get a curtain and I don't know what.
A door?
I don't even know what kind of a hotel you're staying at that just has a curtain for the door. But he said a lot of these doors don't even have a lock on them. And so I was trying to think of hotels that we have been in, and the most recent one that we were in was in New York.
It had the sliding door.
And it had a sliding
and no lock
glass door. It was like it was
almost like a shower door.
It was like one of those frosted doors.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think
there was no lock.
And there was no lock.
And it didn't stay closed all the way, so you had to shove something against it to hold it in place.
Yes, it was.
And it would have been bad if me and Tammy were by ourselves, but Ashley was with us.
Yeah, and yes. So I don't know if it was when the air would kick on or what, but the door would just kind of like bump open, and there it would be.
Yeah.
So we had to take, like where we would have taken our shower at night, we would have these towels in the floor, and I got to the point where I would ball it up and shove it up on the door so that it wouldn't come open, and that works. I told Ashley, I said, that works. Yep. You can do that. But I don't think I told the story when we first got there. I went in that bathroom and I shut the door, and it's this frosted door, and I'm sitting there on the pod just peeing, and Ashley, do you remember?
Oh yeah, she
fully convinced me
that we could see through
that she could see through the door. She said, Mom, she said, there's a button in there and you're supposed to hit the button so that we can't see. She said, don't you remember when I would go in the dressing room at Aeropostale? And I do. She would go into the dressing room at Aeropostale, and it would look like you could see right into the dressing room.
Until you close the door. Until you
close the door. And then you close the door and it fogs up. Yeah. And she had me fully convinced that they were just sitting there watching me pee, and which reminds me of, I've seen some kind of special, like someplace, I think it's in another country. Yeah, it's like these bathrooms.
It's a public restroom outside.
Yes. And you can literally see in there until somebody goes in there.
Yeah, when they close the door, it fogs it.
Yes.
I don't know why you need to see in there, but
I think that is
I guess that lets you know if somebody's in there or not.
But I'm asking you, would you ever be comfortable using that bathroom?
Yeah, because they can't fog it one way. I mean, you're going to know if it's fogged or not.
Okay, so you're going to know, yeah, but what if it quits working for some reason?
Then you don't go. I mean, when you close the door and you can still see everybody, you don't go.
Well, what they were talking about, so after all this discussion, what they were talking about was it drives him crazy that hotels are trying to save money on, so they won't have a door at all, or they won't put a lock on the door.
I don't like the idea of a curtain, though. I mean, like I said, if it was just me and you, who cares? But,
well, that's what they were kind of discussing, is like, well, why do you need a lock on the door? It's just you. It's just this man and his wife.
Yeah.
Why in the world does he need a lock on the door? So even when we were in New York and there was no lock on the door, who cares?
Yeah.
It's me, you, and Ashley. If you had walked in, I would have just said hello, and
I think it's just to keep people from accidentally walking in.
But
that's what it is.
He is so funny about his wife and his private time, his private business. And it's not who you think I'm talking about. It's somebody else there that I'm talking to. Yes, it's somebody else that I heard this conversation from. He is so funny that he wants a lock on the bathroom door, and it really disturbs him when he cannot lock the door. And it's like, so I wanted to say this. I wanted to ask you all, do you lock the bathroom door when if it's just you and your husband? Or if for me and Kevin, we never lock the bathroom door. I would never dream.
I could see in a hotel though, like maybe if somebody was to break in, then you could run to the bathroom and lock the door.
Okay, but he's literally talking
locking
about
the door for just doing his business.
Just to do his business.
No, I'm not locking the door. But you know what? If you're that worried about it, then you should. Then you feel uncomfortable with your partner being there in the same room with you, and you're afraid of them walking in on you. I can understand why that would make you nervous not having a lock, because some people don't like to use the bathroom in front of them.
And I get that. I don't intentionally. I'd go to the bathroom. I wouldn't intentionally go to the bathroom in front of Kevin. I have gone to the bathroom in front of Kevin because sometimes an emergency is an emergency, and Ashley calls it a pee-mergency.
Yeah.
I have a pee-mergency. So sometimes you just have to go to the bathroom, and so it's not like I would do that on purpose, but it's like, this is my partner who I'm going to be with the rest of my life. He might end up, I hope he doesn't, but who knows if something might not happen, and he might end up having to wipe my butt later on in life. You need to be with somebody that you feel comfortable with. So I thought it was very odd that it's just you and her in the house, and you have to lock that door.
Especially if you're in your own house. Seems a little weird.
Yes, in their home. He locks the door.
They've got to hang up about using the bathroom in front of other people.
I think he does. Yeah. So
everybody's different.
So do you think that's?
I think I wouldn't do it, but I understand if you've got that phobia, then
it is almost a phobia.
You do your thing.
Yeah.
If that makes you feel better, then go for it.
Yeah, I'm not
judge it.
I'm not making fun of him or anything.
Different.
It's just different for me.
Yeah.
I would not make fun of him or anything like that. But I thought for me and Kevin, we're so close, and we can talk about anything or do anything or whatever, that I can't imagine wanting to lock the bathroom door and being uncomfortable if there wasn't a lock. I was trying to remember, there was the door on the cruise. It was a sliding door, but it had a lock. But you know what? I never locked it, not one time.
I didn't either.
Because it was, for me, I have a phobia. About getting stuck in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I've talked about it.
A cruise ship, there's no windows.
I know.
No escape from a cruise ship bathroom.
I've talked about it before, that when we were in London, I could go in a bar in London, or a pub in London, and I would go in there and I wouldn't lock the door in the pub. And you're probably thinking you're crazy for not, but I wouldn't, because their doors are different than our doors.
It's actually a door.
Their doors go from the ceiling to the floor, and there ain't no getting out of there if you get stuck without somebody coming to rescue you. I wasn't locking I wasn't going to take the chance, because I thought, oh my gosh, what if I got stuck in here? And then sometimes the music would be loud, or it's like nobody would come in here and find you for how long? I would just be in a complete panic. So I've got a phobia about the exact opposite of him, and so I guess that was why it really got me thinking about it. But just something to think about with hotels and doors. I think it's interesting that they're doing that. They were also talking.
What if you had the hotel that had the complete glass window shower? That if we had a room with Ashley in that place, we couldn't have taken a shower.
Kevin and I
literally could not have taken a shower.
Yes, that was a baby deer back there.
It's a deer back there,
a little bitty baby.
A lot of deer in Kentucky get hit by cars.
Yes, Kevin and I were. It was a hotel room, and it was literally the shower.
It was 2 separate rooms, but the wall between the bed where the bed was and the bathroom, you could literally see into the shower. Like, I could see Tammy as clear as day. I could tell her exactly what she was washing while she was doing it.
Yeah, I could have put on a little show in there.
Yeah, I mean, literally, that's almost what
I could have rubbed myself up against the window.
It was almost like that's what it was made for.
Well, I mean, I don't know why else she would do that.
So
to watch each other.
Maybe, well, I don't know. I mean, maybe if they know there's more than 2 people, they would put you in a different room.
And it was a really cool hotel. It was
they
like
converted it over from some warehouse.
It reminded me like steampunk.
Yeah, it was kind of like that.
It was like a steampunk kind of
But
vibe.
yeah, but can you imagine booking that place and
Very urban.
us and Ashley are in there, and one of us doesn't realize it and goes in the shower and puts on a show for everybody.
Yeah, you would have had to, if Ashley had gone with us, you would have had to have turned your head the whole time.
Yeah, I would have had to have sat the other way, and she would have too.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just, but something else they said they noticed about the trend with hotel rooms these days, but they liked this conversation I was listening to, is that a lot of times the floors, they're taking up the carpets in these hotel rooms because you never can really get the carpets good and clean.
Yeah,
and they're
level.
doing like it's not linoleum, but it's like wood.
The fake wood.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it's a no.
I get that. I totally get that. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I can just mop it, basically.
I think carpet, of course, is warmer and everything.
It's sound dampening. You don't get the echo and all that stuff.
Yes, but I know, like, in a lot of the, like, at Disney, and most of the Disney hotels, even the nice one, the expensive one we stayed in, they did not have carpet in that room. Was it called the Yacht Club? Yeah, it did not have. I mean, it was the
halls and stuff had carpet.
Yes, it was very, very nice hotel. Yeah. But the room did not have carpet, and it shocked me because honestly, it kind of cheapens it. It doesn't have that rich look that carpet does. But I totally get that you just can't get carpet clean.
I'd rather have the cheaper look of vinyl or linoleum or whatever than a filthy rug. Or whatever.
I would too. I totally agree with you. So anyway, just some things, hotel room things that I thought were interesting. But something else that was interesting is I got on Facebook and I saw this. Somebody had written up 20 items. It's a 20-point
things to think about.
Things to think about if you're going to donate food to a food bank. So we're switching gears completely. So a lot of people this time of year, they're donating food. A lot of times the post office will say, we're having a donation day and we're going to come around and we're going to pick it up as we go around on our walk, which I think must be awful. They must hate that because
I think they have a truck blower and get most of it. Yeah. I mean, they might walk around with it. I can't imagine carrying canned food goods around for
I can't either.
A block or two.
But these are just things
you didn't know.
In general, on Facebook, put these 20 things down that you should consider if you're going to donate food to a food bank.
Their exact words were, if you are planning on helping families at a food bank this season, things you probably don't know.
Okay.
And I was close. Okay. And this was the very first one. That's the only one I've really read. Everyone donates Kraft macaroni and cheese in the box. Unfortunately, they can rarely use it because it needs milk and butter, which is hard to get from regular food banks. So you got to remember, these people can't really go buy food. They're getting free food.
So if you don't have
mac and cheese, unless they're eating raw pasta, there's really no way for them to make it.
I knew a guy. I went over to his house, and I'm just visiting. And his mom had a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese, but they were out of milk.
Yeah,
And
I mean, you don't have to have the butter, but
he
you need
wanted
the
to know, could I just use butter in place of all the milk and everything? So because it didn't work.
Oh, it didn't work?
Yeah, it wasn't good because it didn't add the liquid that it needed.
I mean, if you're hungry enough, you can just use water.
So in other words, you should donate Velveeta shells.
You still have,
Velveeta shells doesn't take anything.
That's true. You just put the stuff in.
Velveeta shells comes with a packet of cheese, and all you have to do is boil the water. So Velveeta shells would be what you would want to donate.
They're saying boxed milk is a treasure as kids need it for cereal, which they also get a lot of. I wonder if that's like powdered cereal, powdered milk. Boxed milk. I'm assuming they're meaning powdered milk.
I don't.
Which you mix with water and it makes milk.
I know it's shelf stable.
Yeah, I think that probably is what they're talking about.
Okay.
Which they're saying they got a lot of cereal donation, which is probably a good thing, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't understand this one, but this is just a statement. Everyone donates pasta sauce and spaghetti noodles. They're not saying it's a good or bad thing.
Well, it sounds like they're saying everybody donates it, so you need to donate something different.
Oh, so they're not eating
They're
pasta.
getting too much.
I got you.
Too much of that.
They cannot eat all the awesome canned veggies and soup unless you put a can opener in too, or buy Pop-Tops. I've noticed that a lot of the Campbells, some of the Campbells have Pop-Tops, some of them don't. But they're saying that, you buy stuff and make sure it has some way to open it.
Last night I opened about 5 cans and not one of them had a Pop-Top on it.
Yeah.
Every single one of them, it was lots of vegetables and stuff.
Right.
And every single can required the can opener.
Yeah, so that's what they're saying is basically consider that.
One of those hand can openers.
Yeah, consider that because they may not have a can opener, so get Pop-Top cereals and veggies. Oil is a luxury, but needed for rice-a-roni, which they also get a lot of. So they get a lot of rice-a-roni, but they don't get the stuff to go with it, like oil or whatever.
I wouldn't have thought about that. I wouldn't have thought about needing oil. And oil's not cheap.
No. Spices or salt and pepper would be a real Christmas gift. So just donating things of salt and pepper would be
This makes me sad to hear this.
Yeah, that's a luxury.
It makes me sad to think that some people.
Makes me sad.
That makes me sad. But I think this is good to make people aware.
Yeah. Tea bags and coffee make them feel like you care. I don't know if that's true, but I guess tea and coffee is a nice thing.
Gift. Yeah.
Sugar and flour are treats.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. They fawn over fresh produce donated by farmers and grocery stores. So if you can do fresh, but you'd have to really get the produce there quickly.
It would have to, yes.
Well, and they're going to give away stuff so fast.
It would have to be done timely. Yeah.
Seeds are cool in the spring and the summer because growing can be easy for some. That's interesting. So you could donate
seeds,
like tomato plant seeds and like whatever other seeds there are.
Yeah.
I don't plant stuff.
I guess I would
Some
never.
people may want, they don't give it to everybody. You go in there and you pick the things you want.
Oh, that's
And some people might say, I've got a little area I could plant some tomato plants
right.
in. They rarely get fresh meat, which, again, I don't know how you would do that.
I don't either.
Tuna and crackers make a good lunch, but then again, going back to before, make sure the tuna can be Pop-Top open, not can opener.
Yes.
How much?
Or the packets of tuna. You can get those packets of tuna with tuna with crackers.
So tuna and crackers, that would be good. This is a good one to think about. Hamburger Helper goes nowhere without ground beef.
Yeah.
So donate Hamburger Helper sounds like it would be nice, but it really doesn't do much good if they can't get the meat.
So just don't buy it. Don't buy that at all.
They get lots of peanut butter and jelly, but usually not bread. See, I think about bread as like I would never donate bread because I would think, well, that's going to go bad. But I'm not thinking that these people are coming in probably every week to get food. It's not like it's going to sit on a shelf for months and months and months.
I know that when I buy bread, it goes bad so fast.
Yeah, but like I said, they're going to open that food kitchen up twice a week probably.
Yeah.
Butter and margarine is nice too, and eggs are a real commodity.
Yeah, most of the places that we are aware of, they're not like fresh. They just have
shelves.
Yeah, it's not like fresh stuff. Like you normally, when we see where you can donate food, it's more like shelf stable stuff.
Yeah. But you could do bread.
So like Kroger, even Kroger always has an area to where you can donate food.
Yeah, like bags of food.
And that's wonderful. But it's I'm going to. It is it's stuff that it's shelf stable stuff because you can't put a thing of eggs up there. Does she know I'm pulling in here? Yeah, that's okay. You can't put a thing of eggs up there at Kroger to donate. As nice as that would be, you can't do that.
No, I think you'd have to donate directly.
Yeah.
All right, so so I ended with eggs are a real commodity. Cake mix and frosting makes it possible to make a child's birthday cake. But then again, you're still also talking about not having, if you can't make macaroni and cheese, you're sure as heck not making a cake with eggs and milk and whatever, oil or whatever.
I personally,
I mean, that's cool to think about, but
I would watch what mixes you get. So I don't know right off of one that, well, okay, you could do a mug cake because the mug cake, you just add water. Yeah. However, Kevin and I just recently bought a expensive box mix, and it required
all kinds of stuff.
Heavy whipping cream and other things, but heavy whipping cream was one of the items.
Yeah, that's $3 for just a bulk carton.
Yes,
over $3.
Yes, it was over $3 for a thing of heavy whipping cream.
Yeah, so your already expensive $7 mix now becomes a $10 or $11 mix.
Yeah, so I think if
just be careful. You know, I was thinking is it Krusteaz that makes those pouches of the batter already mixed up, and you just squeeze them out and you bake them like cupcakes and stuff like that.
Oh, you're talking about the ones at Kroger in the refrigerator.
They have brownies and cupcakes and something else.
Yes, those are
chocolate cake and a vanilla cake.
I had forgotten about those.
Those would be good options, but you have to keep them refrigerated. That's the problem. So I don't know. Maybe you just reach out to your local food bank and say, "Do you have refrigeration?"
Right. Do you have a place to keep refrigerated
and then
stuff?
You could determine what you want to donate from there.
Yeah.
Dishwashing detergent is very expensive and is always appreciated.
We don't have a dishwasher, so that's not something I would even think about.
But they could also mean like Palmolive, like to wash your dishes, like dish soap.
That's
okay. That's what I thought.
Okay, yeah.
Although some places, some apartments and places that these people are, anybody would rent, may have dishwashers that they can't use.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is a good one, and you don't think about this because you're talking about a food bank. Feminine hygiene products are a luxury, and women will cry over that. Will cry. I've heard that feminine hygiene products, especially when you're homeless, are almost impossible to get.
They're very expensive. Yeah, they're very expensive.
Because you can't just go someplace and get them for free because people don't donate them.
Right.
So that's something to think about.
Yeah, they're very expensive, and I wonder if they're expensive everywhere like they are here, or I wonder if do you think the cost of those is covered in some places, or do you think you have to pay for those? Because it is expensive. Stuff like that. We're talking about tampons and pads, maxi pads. Yeah, stuff like that. And I guess if you need it depends or whatever, those things, and that's for male or female. I guess stuff like those would be expensive too. That would be a nice donation.
And like I said, it's not food.
But would a food bank give those? Or
probably they would have them out to where they could grab them, I guess, if they needed them.
Yeah, I like that idea, actually.
And then the last one I have is everyone loves stovetop stuffing. Because I think you just add water to it.
Oh, okay. Because I don't know how to make stovetop stuffing.
We made it, but I don't remember how you made it. I remember it was in a bag. It's like little croutons. I'm pretty sure you just add water, I think. And they ended with just saying, in all the years I've donated food at the holidays, I bought what I thought they wanted, but have never asked. I'm glad I did.
I know the last time we donated, it seems like that on the list was a bunch of like ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles are good because
bought,
it's all water. You know,
we bought a bunch of ramen noodles and something else that we got too, and I just don't
remember. Seemed like it was shampoo or
yeah, I just don't remember.
Bathroom product, toothpaste or something like that.
But ramen noodles, because you're just adding water.
Yeah. My mom and dad worked for many years. They didn't work. They donated. They volunteered. At a church food bank and clothing bank.
Yes.
But it was church. It was a church that ran it.
Right.
I don't think they had refrigeration, but it was only open a couple days a week, and they would get all kinds of people coming in there. But they not only had food that people donated, they also had clothing.
Clothing,
yeah.
Yes.
And Mom worked in the clothing area, and Dad worked in the food area. But I think they're allowed so many items. I don't know exactly how it worked, but it seems like they were allowed, like the food area, they were allowed like, I don't know, 15 items. So they could go in and pick out 15 things.
Right.
And then the clothing, they could just take whatever they needed, you know.
Right.
But it was neat.
That is neat.
But I don't remember them having refrigeration there. But they might have. They might have had big refrigerators or something they could get into. But I think that's one of those things you're just gonna have to call your local food bank and say,
and ask about.
Do you have refrigeration? Because if they do, I think eggs and milk and butter and something like that would be an awesome thing to do.
I do too.
That's probably nobody else is doing.
And if they don't have refrigeration, then I love the idea of the feminine hygiene products.
Yeah, tuna in bags.
Tuna, yeah, because you know, that's just stuff that most people aren't going to donate. Yeah. So I think that's a good idea. This is at Hobby Lobby, and this whole section at Hobby Lobby is different food themed things. So they have like Hershey scented nail polishes. They have Barbie sugar scrub, Sour Patch Kids scrub, Starburst scrub. They have Hershey's makeup, Care Bears, Lucky Charms, Doritos, and I think we have seen these at like Five Below, I believe. Look. Eye gel pads from Oreo, from M&M's, from Skittles. They have cup noodles. They have lip balm, Dr. Pepper, Jolly Rancher. There's all kinds of stuff here. Look at the face masks. Cheetos face mask. You get 5 in there. Doritos. Look, Dippin' Dots. Is that not cute, Dippin' Dots? They have icy cups, Cheetos, all kinds of stuff here. Oh, and what's the Barbie stuff at the bottom? So this is Barbie, hand cream. So you have hand cream, you have an eye mask and pillowcase. And then there, it looks like some maybe makeup brushes or something down there. Yeah, there's bath bombs. So you could do like a whole theme. You could do a Barbie theme or whatever. I have seen some of these at Five Below though. I think they're really cute. So they have a Nerds Fun Dip, Laffy Taffy. I just thought these were fun. Look, the Sour Patch lip gloss. Ashley would probably think that was cute. And then these are big. And they're out of some of them. This one's supposed to be Nerds. This one's supposed to be Slime Liquor. Like one of these. Probably a different scent. So we're at home, and I haven't filmed anything, but they have tons and tons of Christmas stuff. And like you can walk through these arches and go look at all the Christmas trees. And they go on forever. Go. Okay, now what else do we have? Okay, what about the snowman or the Grinch? What does he do?
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't do it.
That doesn't do it. It says animated.
No, I don't know.
Okay, do this one down here.
That's all they do.
Okay, what about this one? Okay, what about this one?
You gotta give them one.
Oh. What about this one?
Yeah, he just kind of bounced around. I don't think you're gonna have to turn this one.
Oh, there's one down here. It's supposed to be.
Oh, there you go.
That's funny. So these are elves and Dillards, and my sister loves these. This one right here is $250, and the big ones in the back are that one's $733 and that one's $472. But my sister would absolutely love those. And then look, they have a blue and white.
Have eggs. Fabergé.
But they have a huge section in Dillard's of Christmas stuff. And Ashley and I were in here a couple weeks ago. So they sell these shiny and bright. These are Christopher Radko ornaments. They also sell these at Home Goods. And so I was gonna see how much they're charging for them here. $40. So that is, those though, they haven't had those at Home Goods.
No, those are.
No, these are different, but I'm telling you, it's
38 or 36.
I wonder how much that garland is.
Exclusively for Dillard's.
Yeah, this is exclusively at Dillard's.
So these are different styles.
So these are different styles. But I'm telling you, if you don't mind them not being
40.
exclusive, you can get them for half the price. I would get the tinsel. 40. But they have all kinds of stuff here.
They got the old school tinsel.
Okay, this stuff was not here when Ashley and I were here. This is Alice in Wonderland. Mm-hmm. So they have the white rabbit, the caterpillar. Look at the little heart. This is Kurt Adler is who did these. The Mad Hatter, the Cheshire Cat. These are awesome. And then these are the Wizard of Oz. And so let's see how much these are each. Alice is... I think you have to pick it up to find out.
Nope.
No? I didn't see a price on there. These are amazing though. I love these.
It's actually a nutcracker.
Yeah, it's a nutcracker. So you don't know how much they are.
There's a Mad Hatter nutcracker.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's look at these ornaments right here. Look. These are
Look at the queen.
Oh, those are awesome.
Alice is pretty cool too.
Okay. These, let's see. This is Mad Hatter. Look at the... Let me see how much these are.
These have price on them.
Oh my gosh. See, these need to have a price. I'll probably end up asking how much those are. We're at Dillard's and they have the Clark Griswold house. And look how it's lit up like that. So Kevin just flipped this over. I didn't get him. I didn't film him flipping it over, but he literally picked it up and flipped it over. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the box tape. We have some box tape, and we're going to tape the back of this. And then I'll leave it. I have a table I can leave it sitting on for the season. I can set stuff on it. It won't hurt it. But we will put box tape on the back of it. I'll show you how he does it. So we used to do this all the time. Back in the 90s, the early 90s, they used to have these things called movie poster puzzles. And that was the name of them. So now I know they have like puzzles now at Meyer and places like that, like little blockbuster puzzles. That's not what these were. They were called movie poster puzzles, and you can look them up. You can still find some on eBay and stuff like that.
They were the size of movie posters.
Yes, they were. Yes, it was the size of a movie poster. So we used to put them together. This was back when we first got married. We didn't have much money, and we would put these puzzles together, and then we would do what Kevin's doing. We would tape the back of them together. And then we would take pins. What do you call those?
Thumbtacks.
Thumbtacks. Thumbtacks, push pins, and we would hang them on the wall, and it would look like a poster hanging on your wall, except it was a puzzle. And they were really cool, and we hung them all over. We had like a condo type thing. It was an upstairs downstairs type thing.
Yeah, split level.
And we had them hanging all over the walls. We had Disney ones like Sleeping Beauty and Pocahontas, and we had a Beauty and the Beast. But then we also had like some with like Kindergarten Cop with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I think we had the Bonfire of the Vanities, and you know, that's the only reason I know how to spell Schwarzenegger to this day.
Because you saw it post every day?
From looking at that movie poster puzzle. And that's how I learned to spell that. But we had all kinds of them, and they didn't look bad. They really didn't. I wish now that I had kept them. Because if you go to buy them on eBay, they're very, very expensive. My favorite one, and I regret to this day getting rid of it, was Beetlejuice. I had the Beetlejuice one, and it was a picture. It was it looked just like the poster from the movie. It was the house. The house, and he's sitting on top of the house, but it has all the people on it. And I really, really regret getting rid of that. And I've tried to find it, but you can't find it. And good luck finding them where they're not opened, because, you know, you can buy them opened, but you never know if all the pieces are there. And you would hate to put that whole thing together and then not have all the pieces. So, I did find one at one time on like Poshmark or Mercari or something like that, but I didn't buy it because I didn't know how trustworthy those websites were. So, and now I know they're perfectly, you know, good, but trustworthy. But I didn't at the time, so I didn't get it. But this is if you want a cheap way, if you don't want to have to glue it, because we've actually done a video of puzzle glue, of using puzzle glue, and it works. It works.
Forever to dry though.
Yes, it doesn't damage the puzzle or anything, but yes, it takes a long time to dry. So we want to be able to use this dining room table, and so we want to get this off the table. So we don't want to have to wait on puzzle glue. So Kevin took a big risk flipping this over, because I did not think it was going to stay together. But it's no big deal to do this if you have some boxes. We've also,
We've used duct tape.
That's what I was going to say. We've used duct tape.
That duct tape's probably stickier, honestly.
It probably is, yeah. Duct tape's good for everything. But this was a really fun puzzle. I really like, this is a White Mountain puzzle. And I like puzzles with a lot of words or pictures of people. I do not like a lot of white space, a lot of sky, a lot of grass. It needs to have words, and it needs to have people. So my goal, first of all, is I go around the edges. And then I put words together. So I'll put groups of words. And then once I have all the words, or pretty much all the words, then I start looking at faces. So I'm going to start, looking at like the 3 faces here, the gingerbread man, any faces that I can find. That's how I'm going to work on it. And then Kevin and I we were just knocking it out, filling it in. So Kevin will flip it over for you. You want to press it down really well. If you want to use a rolling pin, you could. But that'll keep it together. And if we wanted to hang that on the wall with push pins, we could. But these White Mountain puzzles are really nice. They sell them at Hobby Lobby. They sell them at Meijer. I bought mine from Amazon. I think they also sell them at like Barnes and Noble, book places and stuff like that. We have some more questions to add to the video, and we will have more questions in next week's vlog as well. If it's a Q&A type vlog, if it's not a Q&A type vlog, I don't know what it's going to be next week. If it's not a Q&A type vlog next week, then those questions that you all have asked I will get to them at some point, is what I'm saying. So someone said, if you could name yourself, what name would you choose? So like Kevin, do you like the name Kevin?
I'm fine with the name I have. I've never had a name that was like, oh, I wish I didn't have Kevin. I wish I was named George or whatever. I've never felt like that.
I love the name Kevin, and I don't know a lot of Kevins. I mean, I know some Kevins, but I don't know a lot, and I've always liked the name Kevin. Now, I have, for me, I'm not saying I don't like anybody to be named Tammy. I'm saying I've never connected really with that name myself. So I'm fine with it. But if I were to choose another name, I would choose something like Elizabeth, just because I think it's feminine, and I like the length of it. That name anyway. Yeah, I like it a lot. And it's just a nice name. I'm curious to know if Tammy prefers to drive, as in most videos, she does the driving. I'm amazed at how calm she is when she encounters bad drivers. Since Kevin gets motion sickness from reading, wouldn't he prefer to drive and have you read the question? Well, if you go back just a year and a half ago, and for all the years before that, Kevin did all the driving. Mm-hmm. Kevin drove for all those years. So I'm assuming you're new to the channel, which is great. We always appreciate that. But if you're new to the channel and you've really just started watching the vlogs, you would think that I drove all the time, when really...
Which she does nowadays.
Now I do, but I have really just started driving all the time in the past year and a half. Before that, Kevin drove 100% of the time everywhere.
No. And you can't read for a lot either in a car.
Oh no, I will get... And you haven't been getting sick lately.
It makes me loopy. It makes me feel like, ugh. I just feel icky, and then I have to stop
more
for a little while.
More so than normal.
Yeah. But driving, Tammy drives usually just because she knows where she wants to go. Instead of me asking her, where do you want to go next? She can just get in the car and go. And I go with her. Wherever she goes, I'm there.
And he still asks me where we're going to go. But
I like to know where her plans are.
Yeah.
Like, where are you going next?
Right.
Just because I'm curious more than anything. And I can groan if I go to a place I don't want to go. But ultimately, I don't really care where we go, so I just let her drive wherever we're going to go. If it's a long distance trip, though, I usually drive in those, like interstate or anything like that.
If it involves the interstate at all,
drive.
Kevin's driving, because I'm not driving on the interstate at all. How is retirement going to work for Tammy, considering she hasn't done the years required to be able to retire like Kevin did? Will Tammy get any pension at all? Curious as to how that works in America.
No. She unless she were to pay into, YouTube is her job. So unless she were to pay into a pension system now, invested in a whatever retirement system there is, if she were to invest money into that system now, she could potentially get some kind of retirement at that age. But no, we don't do that. We do have kind of what's considered kind of government retirement, which is Social Security.
But that doesn't happen for another long time
60
for me.
some, and Tammy didn't work that many years, so what she paid into Social Security is really not that much. She probably worked she did work less than I did for Social Security, but not a lot less. So so really she wouldn't get much in Social Security either. I mean, you're talking maybe $200 a month, if that.
So we're dependent on YouTube money, and we're dependent on what Kevin gets.
On my retirement.
If Kevin were to die, Lord forbid, if something happened to Kevin, I would still get
my retirement money.
His retirement money. Yes, I would still get that. So I don't know if that was the question, like part of the question, but that, yes, I would still get that. So,
but nothing if you were to get to a certain age. She doesn't have a retirement plan.
No, I don't have no plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I know in other countries they have government retirement, basically government pension once you get to a certain age. That's why the elderly in the UK are called pensioners.
Right. Right. I'm
guessing that's why they're called pensioners.
Who in your family, if anyone, watches your videos frequently?
We know that.
The only person that watches my videos with any frequency is my dad. How has your daily routine changed since Kevin's retirement? It has not changed one little
not really.
One little bit.
No, the only thing, our weekly habits maybe have changed a little bit because
we stay up later.
Me up late. I can't.
I like to stay.
She likes to stay up late and get up early. I don't understand it. But we will go out on like a
things to do.
A Wednesday afternoon. We may go to Lexington. Whereas before, during the week, we were pretty much at home because I had things I was doing for work. Now, if we need to go to Lexington for a couple hours or whatever, we can do that. Or if I need to go out to eat for lunchtime review, we're more free to go to Lexington than we would have been before, where I had to kind of work around it.
And where you had to work around meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah. So now we could just, if I want to go to, the other side of town in Lexington to go out to a restaurant, then we can just go on a Wednesday and go. It's whatever.
Yeah. And we do stay up later. So
But our day-to-day, it's really not changed a lot. I'm still on the computer, but I'm usually playing games or something or watching videos or something.
Kevin has been doing a lot more live. If you
I've been doing live streams.
If you subscribe
at least 3 times a day
to the Movie HQ YouTube channel, I have it linked below this video. I have a link to it. If you subscribe to that, you'll know when Kevin goes live. It'll alert you. And he goes live quite a bit on YouTube and Twitch. He's been trying to do that more and more lately. Mm-hmm. So that's good.
It's mostly video games, though. So if you don't like video games, it's probably going to bore you. But hey, if I always needed more people to chat on Twitch, honestly. So if you would come into Twitch and just say hello, a bunch of you all at one time saying hello would be awesome. But it has to be regular. It can't be just that one-time thing. It has to be kind of a regular thing. So anyway.
Okay, what are your thoughts about living in the South where it is warm during Christmas?
I don't think it would be, some people think it's not Christmas unless it's cold. I don't feel that way. I think it's Christmas because it's Christmas, not necessarily because it's warm.
I think I would be perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'd actually prefer it.
Yeah,
I'd rather be warm than cold.
We've gotten to the point where the cold air really affects us, and we don't
Makes
like
you miserable.
it. Yes, we're miserable. I don't even like to go out of the house a lot of times when it's cold.
Which means I don't have to run around in the middle of the week.
No, but it's bad for the channel because it's good for me to get out and go to stores. So if I'm not wanting to go to stores, that's not good. But just the cold, the older we get, the cold affects us more. I think a Christmas, a Hawaiian Christmas or a Florida Christmas, or I'd be completely fine with that. If a new job opportunity came across for something, they're asking you this. If a new job opportunity came across for something you like and was 150% of what you previously earned, would you accept it?
Well, the problem is with retirement system, you have to be really careful about returning to work, first of all.
You do.
You can only work so much when you retire, or you basically put your retirement on hold.
Right.
So if I did want to get a full-time job, I'd have to make more money because I wouldn't get the retirement anymore for a while. So it's not like I'm doubling, and I would literally stop that and it would go to something else for a while, and then I'd have to go back to retirement once I left that place. So it's a little weird, which I understand, but that's a federal thing, not a local thing. I don't know. It really depends on what the job was and how involved I had to be. So if it's like I wanted to get away from all the stress and just having to worry about stuff and having to the daily grind kind of thing. I don't miss any of that, really.
As long as it wasn't stressful.
As long as it wasn't that kind of job and I could just kind of take it easy and kind of have a little fun and do something. And yeah, I would miss the opportunity to play online if I want to play games, or if you're working full time somewhere, you lose that, even the ability to do it. So I don't know. I'd have to really think about it.
Yeah.
It would depend on what the job.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Because I'm really, money's nice, but to be happy is just as important.
Describe yourself and the other person as grandparents versus how you were as parents when your kids were little.
No, Lord. One thing is we don't stress about things that they're doing as much, because we don't have to worry about their day to day, what they're getting into, what they're learning in school, we don't have to worry about all this.
We had a conversation just recently about this, about that one of the grandkids in particular likes to eat loudly. They just do. They eat loudly. And if I was the parent, then I would
be constantly saying something.
Absolutely have corrected that by now.
Yeah, it would be chew with your mouth closed.
It would be
chew with your mouth closed.
Yes, it would be a corrected thing. Because it is my grandchild, I let it go.
Yeah.
When they're here, they're only here for a little while. They don't live here. I don't see
we
them.
can live with that for a while.
That's right. So I am willing to put up with it because I want them to be as happy as they can be while they're here.
Not that we don't, make sure they're not going to get in trouble.
If they were going to get hurt,
right, then
that's different.
Yeah.
But I want them to be as happy as they can be here. And so I'm not going to get on them at all about piddly little things that don't matter, because I'm not mom and dad. They go home with mom and dad and mom and dad can deal with it. I don't have to live with that behavior.
I think that's most grandparents.
So I'm not worried about correcting that.
Don't you think that's most grandparents?
I think so.
Unless you're one of the grandparents that has to watch the grandkids a lot, like babysit when the parents are working.
That's different.
That's different, because then you do have to be a disciplinarian.
Yes.
And a corrective person. But for us, for us, we're not seeing them that much. So yeah.
So as a parent, we were on top of all that stuff. Mm-hmm. We wanted
correct
you
behaviors.
To, don't run through the house and scream like a banshee, and don't chew with your mouth full, and don't talk with your mouth full.
Don't leave a mess.
And don't leave a mess.
Pick up after yourself.
And all that stuff. We were focused on that stuff with our kids. But I would never be that way with the grandkids, because there's no need to be that way.
No, not for us.
No, that's something that.
Everybody's situation is different, but for us, we don't see them. They're not here for hours and hours and hours, or days or weeks or whatever. So we just don't worry about it.
We don't worry about it at all. So we are much more easygoing grandparents than we were parents, for sure. But that's all the questions we're going to ask for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. I tried to fit some different things in there. We did look around some stores a little bit. So hopefully you enjoyed me throwing that in there as well. But thank you again, as always, to the Patreon supporters, the YouTube support.
If you're ever curious, we put those at the end of the videos.
Yes, we always put a list of names at the end of the video. And to everyone that has ordered a sweatshirt or a cup or a coffee cup from our store, thank you very, very much. We greatly appreciate it. So hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.